I missed out on Underwater in theaters. When it came out in January, I didn't realize going to the movies was going to become such a rare and special thing, or I would have tried harder to see it. So I got the Underwater Blu-ray the other day, and I have some thoughts about it. Welcome back to ML Miller Frights, a part of the Kings of Horror Network. I'm ML Miller. Before we begin, remember to give this video a like, share with your buddies across the electronic superhighway, click subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to ring the bell for notifications. Let's get the word out to new folks across the internet so we can make this channel bigger and better. Underwater hits the ground running as the film pretty much opens up the same way the trailer did. It's the near future, and mechanical engineer Nora, played by Kristen Stewart, is brushing her teeth in her undies in a very cold and steel-plated bathroom until an earthquake shakes the deep-sea drilling station positioned on the Mariana Trench. As she frantically makes her way through the corridors, attempting to outrun the rushing water and increasing pressure, she finds herself one of a very few survivors of the massive quake. With communication cut off from the other subsea bases and the land above, it's up to the survivors to suit up in high-pressure deep-sea diving gear and walk the 3 miles across the ocean floor to get to the one sub-base that seems to be online and has life pods that can take them to the surface. As they exit the flooding station, they soon realize that they are not alone in the pitch-dark depths. I really dug Underwater. And I'm kind of kicking myself for not seeing it on the big screen, because I think it would have played fantastically. The pace and level of intensity begins strong and continues with a simple, breakneck forward momentum that reminded me a lot of the hit-the-ground-running style of Mad Max Fury Road. Right from the get-go, the film plans out a simple objective: to travel across the highly pressurized and equally dangerous ocean floor in a straight line to get to safety to the base 3 miles away. In many ways, this film plays out like a video game, but it's the simplicity of this plot that makes it all the more engaging. Yes, there are micro-challenges along the way, and that's what all good video games provide as well. But once the goal is set, this film makes it clear what the objective is and makes a beeline to it. Underwater has seen Alien and Aliens. It knows we all have seen Alien and Aliens, and tries very hard to capture the magic of Alien and Aliens. And in many ways, it does. Director William Eubank not only sets up a clear mission, but also introduces us to a lived-in station, a lived-in culture, and a lived-in world underneath the sea. It also makes for some nice moments of character to arise. Director Eubank never makes these character moments feel out of place or act as filler. These are grungy folks who have lived in cramped places for a long period of time, and this film lets you understand that through set dressing, the look of the character, and the well-written interactions between them all. Just as Alien and Aliens introduced the world to some iconic characters, Underwater does a decent job honoring those characters. The Ripley character here is Kristen Stewart's Nora, and even though I'm not a fan of the way she presents herself in real life, I have to admit, Stewart fills the role quite capably here. Some well-placed scratches and bumps, and Stewart's gruff and go-get-'em attitude helps make her a likable protagonist worth investing in. Vincent Cassel plays the leader, Captain Lucien, and is very much like the Tom Skerritt role here. Even his casual relationship with Nora is reminiscent of Ripley's relationship with Skerritt's Captain Dallas. T.J. Miller has made a career out of being the comic relief, but here he is channeling Bill Paxton's Hudson, as he is mouthy, but has the experience and toughness to back it up. We even have a sort of damsel character in Iron Fist actor Jessica Henwick, as she plays Emily, a science nerd who isn't used to all of this action outside of the lab. While her character doesn't match up completely, she's very much the protected innocent in Underwater, just as Newt was in Aliens. Rounding out the cast is John Gallagher Jr. as Liam, who is criminally underused here and plays a stoic yet noble warrior type. While I easily spotted these template characters, The actors playing them made them all feel fresh and new, so the similarity didn't really distract me. Underwater isn't without its faults. Because the film hits the ground running, it leaves very little time to get to know the crew past their surface-level traits and occupations. I think that's why those behind Underwater smartly based the characters on well-known roles from previous iconic films. It's sort of a filmmaking shortcut that enables the viewer to get to know the character without any time wasted in actually doing so. Still, I think some of the more subtle points, such as Nora's relationship with another crew member from a neighboring base, and a relationship between two of the cast members, could have been developed a bit more. But this is a big action movie with big set pieces set up to challenge our heroes over and over again, so the lack of backstory is sort of par for the course. These action scenes are really thrilling, utilizing the lack of light on the ocean floor and the flashlights mounted on the deep sea suits. Some of these scenes end up being downright terrifying at times. Eubank not only knows how to build tension, but he delivers the payoff in spades. Still, because Underwater is such an alien-esque film, and told in such a linear fashion, I found it to be predictable at times. Looking at the cast roster, you can almost pick the order of death without even seeing the movie. Let's not get into the fact that the cliched black guy dies first pastiche is alive and well in Underwater. But when it's time for Nora to step up and take command, you can guess who's on the chopping block. When it's time to stop joking about things and get serious, the comedy relief is about to bite it. Because these characters are walking in a line towards their goal pretty much seals the fate of whoever is in the last place. So I pretty much knew who was going to die a minute or two before they actually did. I don't think it's a spoiler to say that there is something alive down there in the deep sea and threatening the crew as they make their journey. I found the action sequences starring these creatures to be a lot of fun, but I do feel that their design is far from iconic. The monsters are simply a mass of chomping teeth and flailing tentacles. They are kind of indistinguishable because of the murky lighting, the speed of their movement, and the complexity of their look. In true video game fashion, there not only are smaller monster challenges, but there's also a big boss to take on. And if you thought the underlings lacked distinguishable traits, you're going to be very frustrated at the way the big bad is presented. While the beasts surely look formidable and monstrous, they lack that iconic look seen in Predator and Alien. Despite its faults, Underwater does a fantastic job of mixing sci-fi, horror, and action, never forgetting to have some moments of heart and humor speckled in for good measure. It's an all-around satisfying blockbuster-style film, and there aren't many of those around these days. I love the fast pace. The cast is pretty phenomenal, even though the characters they are playing are familiar sometimes. There are a ton of jump-back-in-your-seat moments, and the whole film has a level of tension that is communicated in a deft and targeted manner. This film even got me to stomach Kristen Stewart for an hour and a half. Director William Eubank delivers a film that feels like an alien movie without the aliens. It's not as campy as Deep Blue Sea or Deep Rising, and it's much more commercial than The Abyss. All in all, it's a pretty perfect action horror crowd pleaser, and I recommend it for anyone missing that blockbuster feel during these lockdown times. That'll be it for today. If you like this video, please pound that thumbs up button. Share this video with your social media addicted pals. If you're looking for written reviews, you can find them on mlmillerwrites.com. And be sure to subscribe to this channel and ring the bell for alerts to be the first to see my future videos. Thanks so much for your time, and take care.
You're doomed to live the life you're meant to be, stuck inside your reality. You're doomed. Oh, you're doomed. You're doomed. God doomed. Live the life that you inside.